For thousands of years, humanity has searched for paradise lost. A garden so perfect, so abundant, that it existed before sin, before death, before civilization itself. But what if Eden wasn't just a myth? What if the Garden of Eden was a real place, and what if we can find it? Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover the mysteries hidden in ancient texts, explore biblical secrets that challenge everything we thought we knew, and dive deep into the forbidden knowledge that history tried to bury. Today, we're embarking on one of the most fascinating investigations in biblical archaeology: the Garden of Eden. Most people assume it's purely symbolic, a metaphor for innocence, a spiritual concept. But the Bible gives us surprisingly specific geographic details. Rivers, landmarks, directions. So the question isn't just theological, it's geographical. Was Eden real? And if so, where did it go? Let's start with what the Bible actually tells us. In Genesis chapter 2, we get a description that reads less like poetry and more like a travel guide. The text says that God planted a garden in Eden in the east. And here's where it gets interesting. A river watering the garden flowed from Eden, and from there it divided into 4 headwaters. 4 rivers, not a metaphor. 4 actual named rivers. The first is called Pishon. It supposedly wound through the land of Havilah, where gold was found. The second river is named Gihon, winding through the land of Cush. The third, the Tigris, and the fourth, the Euphrates. Now the Tigris and Euphrates, these still exist today. They're in modern-day Iraq, the heart of ancient Mesopotamia. But the Pishon and Gihon, they've vanished from our maps. This is crucial. The Bible isn't describing some otherworldly realm. It's giving us coordinates, landmarks, geographic markers that scholars have been trying to decode for centuries. Some translations mention precious stones, bdellium, and onyx in the land of Havilah. Others note that Cush is associated with ancient Nubia or Ethiopia. These are real places, real resources, real geography. So if 2 of the rivers still exist, what happened to the other 2? Here's something most people don't realize. Geography isn't static. Rivers change course, coastlines shift. Entire bodies of water can disappear. Take the Persian Gulf, for example. During the Ice Age, sea levels were nearly 400 feet lower than today. What is now underwater was once dry land, fertile plains, river valleys, and potentially a garden. Archaeologist Jeffrey Rose proposed a fascinating theory. He suggests that Eden might have been located at the head of the Persian Gulf, in what's now submerged beneath the ocean. When the Ice Age ended and sea levels rose, this paradise would have been swallowed by water, literally lost to history. This region is also where we find the world's oldest civilizations. Sumer, Akkad, the Babylonians, all of them had flood myths strikingly similar to Noah's story. All of them spoke of a time before time, when gods walked among humans in a sacred garden. Archaeological evidence from the Al-Ubaid period, dating back to 6500 BCE, shows sophisticated settlements in southern Mesopotamia. These weren't primitive tribes. They had agriculture, irrigation, urban planning. It's as if civilization suddenly remembered something. And here's the chilling part. Genetic studies suggest that modern humans experienced a population bottleneck in this exact region roughly 70,000 years ago. Could humanity's oldest memories, its deepest myths, be echoes of something that actually happened here? Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Many scholars argue that Eden is purely symbolic, a metaphor for humanity's fall from grace, the loss of innocence, the birth of moral consciousness. And they're not wrong to see symbolism. The tree of knowledge, the serpent, the flaming sword guarding the way back. These are rich with meaning that transcends geography. But here's the question: why can't it be both? Ancient texts often layer literal history with spiritual meaning. The Exodus from Egypt was both a physical journey and a symbolic liberation. Jerusalem is both a city and a spiritual concept. Why would Eden be different? The specificity of the Genesis account suggests the author believed they were describing a real place. They named rivers. They described trade goods. They gave directions. This isn't how you write pure allegory. Perhaps the truth is that Eden was a real location, a uniquely fertile region where early humanity thrived, that took on profound spiritual significance after it was lost. The memory became sacred. The place became a symbol. But the symbol only has power because the place was real. So what does modern science tell us? Surprisingly, it doesn't dismiss the possibility. Satellite archaeology has revealed ancient river channels beneath the sands of Arabia and Iraq. Using ground-penetrating radar and analyzing fossil dunes, researchers have found evidence of rivers that once flowed where only desert exists today. One particularly compelling discovery is the Wadi Batin in Kuwait. Geologists believe this could be the remnant of the Pishon River mentioned in Genesis. It once flowed with water from the Arabian highlands, through regions rich with gold and precious stones, exactly as the Bible describes Havilah. Similarly, the Karun River in Iran has been proposed as the ancient Gihon. It flows through areas historically associated with ancient Kush and connects geographically with the Tigris-Euphrates system. Climate studies tell us that around 8,000 to 10,000 years ago, this entire region was dramatically different. Greener, wetter, more fertile. It was the perfect environment for early agriculture and civilization, a literal garden compared to what came before and after. The Holocene climatic optimum, as it's called, created conditions where human civilization could flourish. And then, as the climate shifted, as the rivers changed course, as the waters rose, paradise was lost. We even have cultural memory preserved in the Epic of Gilgamesh, written in ancient Sumeria. It speaks of a sacred garden, a place of eternal life, a paradise that was lost when humanity was expelled. The parallels are unmistakable. So, was Eden real? The honest answer is, we may never know with absolute certainty. But the evidence suggests something remarkable. The biblical description of Eden aligns too closely with real geography, real rivers, real civilizations to dismiss as pure fiction. The clues point to southern Mesopotamia, to the Persian Gulf Basin, to a time when the world was younger and the memory of paradise was still fresh. Perhaps Eden wasn't just a garden. Perhaps it was humanity's first home, a place so perfect, so formative, that every culture that followed carried its memory forward. A real place that became the ultimate symbol. And maybe that's the deeper truth. Paradise wasn't just lost to geography or time. It was lost to us, to our choices, our exile from innocence, our separation from the divine.